What's going on, everybody? It's Vaaraiant and welcome back to another video. Today we're taking a look at another deck profile, and this by itself, in my opinion, is quite an abomination of a deck. So as you can see from the starting Pokemon, we have 4 Iron Thorns in deck, and then we get Drippies because this is a Dragapult Iron Thorns EX deck, and really, to be honest, it's quite an abomination. We have 4 Drippy, of course, then we have 4 Dracloak. I'm missing 1 card, so I need to get it because I want to play this at a tournament soon. And I did a lot of games on live, and yeah, it's a cool deck. We play 2 copies of Dragapult EX only because we mostly focus on Iron Thorns, and with the 2 Night Stretchers that we'll later get to, this is enough. We play Toadscruel, and Toadscruel, of course, for that locking of getting the items out of the discard pile in your hand, disabling Pokestop, energy retrievals, and etc. Of course, Radiant Alakazam. Yeah, as I said, I played a lot of games on live, and yeah. It's when the deck sets up, it's like really almost unbeatable, but it can brick hard. So we try to avoid bricking with the ace pack of Precious Trolley because it can allow us to fill up our bench, and then if played correctly, we can do TM Evo. We'll get to that later, which is like the main strategy of this deck, but will be explained when we get to the tools. I don't want to skip ahead too much because we have a few Pokemon Surge in case the Precious Trolley is prized. We have 1 Nesball for a Iron Thorns, possibly 1 Body Buffin to get out 2 Drippy, and Terra Orb to search out our Dragapult EX because it's a Terra Pokemon. And then we also have 2 Ultra Ball because they allow us to grab literally any item, any Pokemon that we want. So, we're not limited by it being Terra or anything else. And then we don't need to recycle that much in decks. So the only recycling items basically that we play are the 2 Night Stretchers. So yeah, they're valuable a lot, so you want to keep them, you don't want to discard them. And then 1 Earthen Vessel, just 1 copy to get our energies out, because we have a lot of energies, as you will see, and we don't need the Earthen Vessels that much, but it comes handy as well. Grabbing it with Arven. And then we have 4 Pokegear, which of course allow us to get the supporters that we want, and we will get the supporters in a second and you will see. Of course, we play 1 copy of Lost Vacuum, that's always nice to have in deck. 1 copy of Countercatcher, and then what the deck is basically based on, 2 TM evolutions, because you really want to go a second, attach 1 energy to Iron Thorns, Alvin for Precious Trolley and Technical Machine, and then yeah, you're basically rolling next turn. And then 1 more tool, Rescue Board, and we want to of course retreat our Iron Thorns after we've done evolving, or if we don't want to attack with it, or if they try to trap us, we have 1 Future Booster Energy Capsule. And now, before we move on to the supporters, if you want to grab a cool playmat, you can do custom, you can do already existing playmats, then make sure to visit matzaccessories.com and get yourself a playmat with the promo code VAAR20 at the checkout. So yeah, just wanted to give that out quickly. And now we're moving on to the supporters. Of course, we have 4 copies of Arven. It's basically our engine, beside the 4 copies of Crispin as well. These are the main supporters that are constantly being used each and every turn. So yeah, you need Crispins to really set up your Iron Thorns or Dragapults or Dracloaks, Drippies, whatever, or if you want to retreat the Radiant Alakazam or Toadscruel, it also comes handy. And of course for Arvens, as we said, for consistency to get our tools out as we play 4, and items because we play a lot of items. And sometimes you might also want to go Alvin for Pokegear for your next turn, depending on how the game goes. And then we have 2 copies of Boss's Orders. I'm running out of full arts for all the decks I have right now, so we'll have to go on a shopping spree, I guess, to bring out our decks. And then 2 copies of Iono, of course, to disrupt the opponent, to reset our hand. This is really strong, of course. Late game, getting your opponent down to 1 or 2 cards is really impactful. Especially if you have Iron Thorns in play when they cannot use Fizz yeah, it's quite nice. And then, of course, 1 copy of Professor Turo in case our future energy booster capsule is prized or something like that, and we want to retreat or remove some of our Pokemon from the board, like Radiant Alakazam, Iron Thorns, so Turo comes quite handy. And of course, you can basically recycle Dragapults with that as well. If they get damaged, you can Turo 1, because if you play the game correctly, then your Dragapults have the energy on them. On the bench, so you can just Turo the one that was like hit the turn before and then just evolve the other one and start swinging again. And then, of course, we have our energy disposal. We play 3 copies of lightning energy to power up our Iron Thorns. We play 4 copies of fire energy, of course, to power up our Iron Thorns and the Dragapult, and 4 psychic energies. So yeah, basically how you want to play this deck is you go second, pray that you get Iron Thorns in the starting hand, go Arven if you're lucky enough, Arven attach energy, and then of course you go Arven for Precious Trolley and TM Evolution. And this is basically how like your perfect turn should look like, getting the Thorns in play, attaching energy, TM Evolution, getting the Trolley, and start evolving the Pokemon. It can be really impactful to evolve Toadstool like immediately, depending on which deck you play against, or you can choose to evolve 2 Drippies. That's like depending on how the game goes. But yeah, and then after you set up your bench, then you can just Crispin next turn to power up your Iron Thorns and start swinging, moving energy to the Drippies. And in the worst case that the Iron Thorns got knocked out, you still have Crispin to power up your Dragapult, because you have evolved at least 1 Drippy, so you can kind of swing, or you can maybe even let them take 1 more prize. But yeah, that's all based on how against which deck you play and how the game evolves. So yeah, this is it for the Dragapult Iron Thorns EX deck profile. So I hope you have enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more deck profiles, then of course make sure to check out the comment, the pinned comment, because the playlist of the deck profiles will be there. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.